Basically, when I was a little kid, my whole family was in my town. I mean, my dad's brothers and sisters. I went to elementary school where my grandmother taught me first grade. So it was a very tight-knit environment where everybody was related to me. I mean, I could walk in the local grocery store, hold up a piece of candy over my head and say, "Charge it to Grandma," and they knew who it was. So I think there was a little bit of needing to get away from all that identification. I was salutatorian and I had an image to portray and first grandchild, and there was a lot of responsibility with that I was afraid of breaking by coming out.
From the very beginning, even as a young man, I knew of a lot of people whose lives were ruined because they were outed one way or another. I was a graduate student in clinical psychology at the time, and I remember as we studied this card and saying, that homosexuals see this, this, and this. I didn't see it, and I knew I was gay, but I think that was the first thing that started me thinking, what am I doing? Doing graduate work, getting a degree, going into a field that considers me mentally ill.
I was a psychology major in college, and I did suicide prevention, and I answered a hotline, and our questionnaire was always to determine how serious somebody was. And I would say that I was not to the stage of calling 911, but I certainly didn't have a lot of value for my life. I felt like I had been very successful, but I didn't feel very fulfilled, and I wondered what the heck I was thinking, what more is there to this? Because if this is it, I am not happy and I don't want to do this anymore.
Part of demystifying and really addressing long-standing misconceptions and stereotypes that have sometimes been state-sponsored, stereotypes about gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people, is to open up your space and say, come on in, check us out, learn that we're just here organizing and trying to make a nice place.
Certainly it's a gay lesbian community center, but it's so much more than that, and it is the kind of center that really is able to draw people from all over Palm Beach County and South Florida to be able to come together here and show what a special place it is.
100 centers around the country. I've never seen anything this nice. So this is ridiculous. I don't believe you, but I've been in that counseling room with all the, it looks like an aquarium. You can't be depressed. All of a sudden your life's going to be better just walking in there.
So I walked in and was slightly scared. I walked into the coming out group and I was the only girl in the group and got a little bit even more scared. But I was met by Forrest Sheeran, who is the coming out group facilitator, and he was for 15 years.
When anybody new comes into the group, I tell them as a way of introduction that this is not a therapy group, it's a support group, and we provide a safe and confidential place for gay men, lesbians, bisexuals, and questioning individuals to meet on a regular basis and to discuss any issues that might be of importance to them.
To have that network of people and hear their stories, you can read in books all you want about coming out stories, you can hear it from friends, but until you're in a safe environment with a lot of support, to hear the stories and kind of see how other people's family reacted and what they went through.
The purpose of the group is really to assist anyone in those groups that we mentioned earlier who might be dealing with some of these issues, and to help them, start their own journey, such as it may be. And it isn't something that, you come to forever.
It was after I'd been in the coming out group for about 6 months, and I went home to see my parents for Christmas, and just about 10 minutes before Christmas dinner, with all the family, I went into my mom's room where she was getting ready to come down for dinner, and I said, "Oh, by the way, Mom, I'm dating someone." She goes, "Oh, what's his name? What's his name?" I said, "Well, her name is Teresa." Let's just say my mom just kind of lost it right there, and we're about to go down to dinner in front of the whole family, and I basically just bolted. I just drove away, and left my mom to deal with it. I had 27 years to deal with it, and my mom kind of had 10 minutes. So I had to give her time to come out too.
Jamie's the youngest of his family, and I think that like many young gay men, young gay women, we wanted to be authentic and genuine, but at the time we still had a concern that we would shame our families. It's taken time, but now we have the family support infrastructure that probably had always been there, but we were taught and socialized to believe that it wouldn't be there. And that kind of love and infrastructure is what we were replicating when we were reaching out and trying to find good, fun reasons to hang out with people outside of the influence of alcohol and outside of just the Friday or Saturday night at the club. We found ways to go on canoe trips with people and to organize, social hours and cookouts and just things that you would do with your family so that you had that kind of support and love and motivation to make something of yourself.
She came down and visited with me. She came down to South Florida and came to see me and hugged me and kissed me and told me she loved me no matter what. And we talked to my dad, and they've been nothing but amazing ever since. It changed my whole life. I mean, I've always been a A student, an overachiever, that kind of thing, but really once I came out, I feel like I could realize my full potential. I had done well, but I didn't feel good about myself. My relationship with my family wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. I didn't feel like I was genuine with my friends. It was more a distance relationship because I could never really be myself. And so once I came out, everything changed. I became a better business person. I became a better friend. I became a better daughter. It was like I freed myself up to actually be who I was.
But she works with the other professionals, our attorneys that volunteer, and our CPAs that are on the board, and our financial institution. She works at every level with our volunteers, and I think that she'd be the first to tell you that for her was a gateway for her own professional growth and experience. And it's neat to see because she's not only a good friend, but she's also a great board member and an incredible contributor to Compass. She's pretty much the example of what can happen if you come in and you come out.